Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. This is the 21st part of What If Deku Was Sanji's Reincarnation, My Heroes Reborn. The author of this great fanfic is Emma. I believe links to them and original story in the description. Chapter 21, Work Week begins. It was the last session before they left for Work Studies Week. Toru got permission from Nizu for her idea. Cooking. She set it up so that room had hot plates and a convection oven. They decided not to question where she got them, because she was going to help them bake cupcakes and well, don't question the cupcakes. It was more about relaxing and mostly talked about whatever while the other three helped the two cooks. Then we ended up crossing the finish line, from the other side. Finished Mashireo as he helped Izuku. And that counted? Asked Achiko. Considering they were cheating themselves, I'd say it count. Said Mashireo. Let me guess, Yukio was the one to choose where you went. Said Izuku. Yeah. Said Mashireo. That was when the door suddenly opened and it was Lunch Rush. Midoriya. Said Lunch Rush. Nope. 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 Noop. Said Hibiki, pushing the pro hero chef out of the room. Not today. He closed the door as the student's sweat dropped at the interruption. You know, I've been wondering, when did Lunch Rush even taste your cooking? Asked Momo. Oh, that's not important. Said Izuku. It should be pointed out that Lunch Rush decided to try some of the lunch that Izuku made for All Might. You know, now that the sports festival is over, I think you should be happy that's the only rivalry you're really dealing with. Said Hibiki. Yeah. Sighed Izuku. After the session, Izuku decided to talk to Hibiki, who was crunching his stomach. Congrats kid, you are the best chef I've ever met. Said Hibiki, and considering I was billionaire in my past life, that's saying sometime. Izuku blushed. So what did you want to talk about, unless it's to apologize for choosing someone who wasn't a reincarnation? Don't. Said Hibiki. How did you know I was going to say that? Asked Izuku. Because it's obvious. Said Hibiki. Oh. Said Izuku. Your mental health is important. But I think learn how to control your quirk is even more so. Said Hibiki. Good point. Said Izuku. Sure, I got so many complaints that you didn't go with a reincarnation. But my best guess they're just grumbling thinking you went with someone from the top 10. Said Hibiki. Good point. Agreed with Izuku. Just tell me one thing when you get back. Said Hibiki. What? Asked Izuku. Tell me why All Might is terrified of him. Said Hibiki, because if he terrifies the number one hero, I want to know. I mean everyone who wants to know. Said Aiko. Okay. Said Izuku. And soon enough it was the day where they would leave for their internships. They were all at the train station to catch their trains all across Japan. As they parted ways, Izuku and Achiko approached Ida. Ida. Said Izuku. Ida stopped walking. If you ever wanted to talk, please, we're friends, aren't we? Asked Izuku. I will. Said Ida, putting on a fake smile as he turned around. He then continued walking, leaving Izuku and Achiko concerned. However, as he walked, Toru jumped in front of him, causing him to jump. Hey! She said. Oh, Hagakure. He said, putting on a fake smile. I know you're faking it. Said Toru. Ida froze when she said that. I want you to promise me something. Said Toru. What? Asked Ida. That if you find him, you won't go after Stain. Said Toru. Stain was the villain that had attacked his brother. He was a very powerful villain known as the Hero Killer. Ida looked at her. I. Said Ida. Please. Said Toru, and Pinky promised too. Ida held out his pinky. Oh no, it's one I made in my past life. Said Toru. She taught him how to do it, and he did, though Izuku and Achiko was watching this conversation from a distance so they could hear what they were talking about. And at the promise involved several motions, it was interesting to watch. What are they doing? Asked Izuku. I don't know, said Achiko. Once Ida was done with the promise. Just make sure you keep your promise. Okay, said Toru. Ida nodded, however he had no intention of ever keeping the promise. Izuku took the bullet train to the location, and soon found the location of the agency. A very old, dilapidated building. This is the place. I wonder why I haven't heard of Gran Torino before, thought Izuku as he got there. He knocked on the door, when there wasn't an answer, and he opened the door. Hello, I'm Izuku Midoriya, I'm here to intern, he said. That was when he saw a very short old man laying first down on the floor, covered in red stuff and something that looked like intelligence coming out under him. However, it took less than a second for Izuku to realize that the red stuff wasn't blood and the intestine wasn't that, but rather linked sausage. Please tell me this was an accident, muttered Izuku, switching into Sanji mode, because I hate when someone wastes food. Oh, come on. You saw through it. The old man yelled. It was clear he was Gran Torino. So it was on purpose, said Izuku. Gran Torino began to sweat even more. Geez. What's your problem? Said Gran Tornio. My problem is that I nearly starved to death in my past life, muttered Izuku, glaring at him much more harshly. I thought it would be fun messing with you, pouted Gran Torino. What were you going to do, the whole senile old man shtick, to annoy me? Asked Izuku. Gran Torino stared at Izuku. No, of course not, said the old man, making Izuku facepalm. Izuku sighed. Did All Might tell you that? Said Izuku, slipping out of Sanji mode. That because of a quirk you remember a past life, yeah, said Gran Torino, and I also watched the sports festival. You barely used your quirk and used tricks from your past life. Yeah, said Izuku, I want to balance it out. That was when Gran Torino used his quirk to speed around the room. If you want balance out your quirk with those little pirate tricks of yours, put on your costume and give the biggest smash you can, said Gran Torino. Izuku looked at the old man and smirked. He went over to his costume case and saw there was a new instruction booklet. Turned out the support department changed his costume without telling him. Seriously, thought Izuku. He put on his new costume and got ready for the sparring session. Are you sure we should be fighting inside? Asked Izuku. I mean, what if we break something? It will be fine, said Gran Torino. And soon he began to speed around the room. Izuku knew he couldn't use any form of hockey in this fight. He's too fast, but in order to learn to propel, learn one for all, I have to hold back, thought Izuku. However, as the old man sped around the room, Izuku noticed a pattern, and it wasn't random after all. Once Gran Torino was close enough, he channeled his quirk into his leg and aimed a kick for him. However, Gran Torino dodged and tackled him, winning the fight. All Might may be the #1 hero, but he is a lousy teacher, said Gran Torino. I noticed that, said Izuku. It was true. Gaining his past memories made Izuku realize that All Might had a lot to learn about teaching. His adoptive father was a better teacher than All Might, and he was verbally abusive. Gran Torino just stared at Izuku. You're making things too easy, said Gran Torino. I have an adult's memories, so sorry, said Izuku. Got any advice? Gran Torino just sighed and got off Izuku. Your movements are too stiff, and you think one for all is more special than it is, said Gran Torino. Okay, said Izuku, knowing it was the figure it out yourself advise. Clean up and I'll go get us some grub, said Gran Torino. Izuku sighed as the old superhero left. Meanwhile, in a bar, which was the current headquarters of the League of Villains, Shigaraki was trying to recruit Stain along with Kurogiri and Priestess with him. So you're the ones who attacked UA? Said Stain. We are. Said Shigaraki. So what's your goal? Asked Stain. Right now? Asked Shigaraki, killing All Might and other people that annoy me. He took out a picture of Izuku at the sport festival. Like this brat. Said Shigaraki. Stain glared at Shigaraki. Looks can be deceiving, Stain. Said Priestess, that little brat has the soul of the most powerful warrior I ever encountered. So he's one of your victims? Asked Stain. He is. Said Priestess, a pirate, someone I have ever seen before. Or since. He is extensionally powerful. And you want him to die? Asked Stain. Priestess didn't answer. I had heard about what you've done. Hundreds of heroes fell to your quirk and only those hardened warriors have been able to cut it as heroes. That's not true. Said Priestess, a small amount of normal people counted to be heroes. Stressful jobs, dealing with terrible tragedies, beating cancer, if they overcame something in their past life, then they will remain heroes. You have to admire them. And yet you join this group and sell out your ideals. Said Stain. Priestess glared at Stain. If you knew the danger this boy was, you would agree with me. Said Priestess. And not only that, but the goals of this league are that of a child's. Said Stain. The three members of the League of Villas stared at the hero killer. What good is killing if you lack conviction? Asked Stain, getting ready to attack. Kurogiri looked toward the monitor, which was in voice-only mode. Master, should I intervene? Asked Kurogiri. No, treat this as learning experience, if Shigaraki is to grow and mature and only then he can reach his goals. Said the mysterious voice. Back at Gran Torino's agency, Izuku began to think over the advice Gran Torino gave him and went through it through notes. Meanwhile, Bakugo was meeting with his hero of choice. The number 4 hero, Best Jeanist. Turned out there was a reason why he chose Bakugo. To lecture him about his attitude, he was in the middle said lecture using his quirk to tie up Bakugo. That was when Bakugo interrupted him during said lecture. You seriously think I haven't noticed this? That I have to become a better person? Because I noticed. I told someone to kill themselves and I was such an ass that I didn't remember ever doing it. That everyone in school now hates me? I know I have to change. Yelled Bakugo. This caught Best Jeanist off guard. He actually had a speech all set up about what makes a pro. He wasn't aware that he was already trying to change himself. I wasn't expecting this. Said Best Jeanist. Seriously? Asked Bakugo. An awkward silence filled the air. Damn it! Untie me! Yelled Bakugo with his eye twitching. I'm pretty sure we're on the same page about this. Meanwhile with Achiko, she was talking to Rosewater, a young woman with red hairstyle in such a way it resembled a rose. You really shouldn't drag you into my problems. Said Hana. I know you're going through a lot. Said Achiko. Yeah, but you were human in your past life. I was alien, and now I'm dealing with all of the problems. Said Hana. I'm sure it's fine. Said Achiko. If you must. I just realized I left my playmate Spinel and left her behind for millennia. I should have done something, but no, I just left her there, and oh God. What if Steven found out? He must have found out eventually about her. Whispered Hana. Hana in her past life a former alien conqueror by the name of Pink Diamond who shed her identity and became known Rose Quartz and led a rebellion against fellow diamonds. It's an extremely long story. Wait, who's Steven? Asked Achiko. He's my son. Said Hana, but in order to give birth to him I had to give up my physical form, but the truth is I died. I thought I would somehow be alive in him, but my soul departed and I live like this today. I left Steven with so many problems because I wanted to truly experience being human. I might be in over my head. Thought Achiko. Meanwhile with Momo and Lady Soul, though her real name was Chuko, a woman with long light pink hair was a set in ringlets, and she wore a rather pretty green dress with a matched sun hat and held a green umbrella. They were on patrol while Momo were asking her questions. "I'm sorry. I can't help you adjust to living without magic," said Chuko. "Why not?" asked Momo. "Because I helped destroy my world's magic in my past life," said Chuko. "What? Why?" asked Momo, shocked. "Many reasons. It's a long story, but it comes down to it, a crazy racist trying to kill monsters," said Chuko. "What?" asked Momo. "I'll tell you another time, let's focus on your training," said Chuko. "Therapy might be one of the reasons why you chose a reincarnation like me." "But you do want to be a pro, don't you?" "I do," said Momo. "That's the spirit," said Chuko, taking out a candy bar and ate it rather dainty with her pinky up. Chuko in her past life was known as Eclipse Butterfly, a former queen of a magical world called Muni. She had earned the title Queen of Darkness. Though her title was fearsome, she was a very nice person in her past life and was hated because she left her husband for another, a monster by the name of Globger, and abandoned. Due to this, she was imprisoned for 300 years in suspended animation and later regained her crown. Though she gave up the crown again after Muni merged with a version of Earth, becoming one world. Elsewhere, Toru watched as Yuzu went on a rampage against two minor villains they came across. Turned out she hadn't ate much that day, not expecting needing to fight with Toru around, but being a hero that stumbled upon it. Yuzu was also a rather petite young woman with short periwinkle hair. And the fact that she was petite only made her scarier. She tossed the wheel of a truck that the villains made, crashed into them but missed. "Okay. She's crazy," yelled one of them. "Wait. Crystal Harmony," called out Toru, since they were in public and knowing she had to use her hero name. "I have some cupcakes for you." Cupcakes with chocolate bars filled with peanuts, nougat and caramel. "Seriously, you're making that joke?" yelled Yuzu. "Yep," said Toru, giving her the cupcakes. "Better?" "Much better," said Yuzu. She created a large crystal mallet. "Now I can take out these nerds without going crazy." "How is any different?" yelled the two villains. "You better hide," said Yuzu. "I'd rather not get in trouble." "I know," said Toru, going to hide once again. There's a very good reason why Mashireo's wasn't shown, but that will be revealed why another time. The heroes in turning had to learn more about being a hero. Though there of course were going to be a few hiccups along the way. But they were going to learn many things, hopefully, probably, maybe. That will be it for this part. I hope everyone enjoyed. If you did, please leave a like and comment if you want part 22. If you want to hear more from me, subscribe. I hope to see you all in the next one.